crazy. For some reason, that intro music wasn't playing yesterday, and I didn't do anything, but now it's playing again. Alright, I guess I don't need to solve that problem now. Hi, everybody. Or nobody. Who knows? But I'll tell you what. I was hoping to have this one last thing done, but now I need to finish it because it's not quite there. It's close. Hello, Michael Cuddy. I did. So yeah, I went down for a 20-minute power nap, 30-minute power nap, and I woke up 2.5 hours later. So I guess I was tired. I woke up at like 10:20 or something, and ended up not being able to sleep until 1 a.m. because I had taken too long of a nap. Yeah. Feeling a little less tired today, but you know, still tired. I think that's going to happen until the end of the year, maybe. Things just busy, busy, busy. So I'm working on this generating loot, and I want to test generate loot. That's a feature I abandoned the last time I worked on this, and I decided this time I really want to see it. And so I'm going through that right now. Basically, I'm going to have to refactor all of this. This is still technically the not game runtime version, but it's mixing the two together in order to accomplish this, which is kind of frustrating. I had to add this bit here, and I don't like doing this in this type of script, but I had to make it work because item repository doesn't exist in the editor context right here, and I don't want to call this at runtime because it's slow. So slow for runtime, that is. So I had to add this if Unity editor thing. So that's fine, I suppose. I suppose it's fine, but I just didn't want to do it. Now I've got this, and so I had to start the stream because I promised, and now I figure this out. Why is this happening? Available UIDs. So it's supposed to be random, which is good because it is supposed to be random up here. Random of 4. And it should return a random range between 0 and the available UIDs. And so let's see what we got here. Debug.log available UIDs is available UIDs. Dot count, I guess. Guess it's a list. So let's see. Now I can tell you all about the pretty things I've made and why there's 2 animation curves here now. 0 UIDs. Well, that shouldn't be the case. And that would explain, of course, why that is happening. All right. Let's see. It should be 0, so let's see why it's 0. Okay, we're giving the attribute type. So we should be returning. In this case, it's random, so we don't have an item object. So get item attribute array, where we're gonna have to redo this too, I think, just to make it faster, because I think at runtime, I don't want to do this at runtime, and I think right now it's set to do this at runtime. But I'm gonna have to redo a lot of this for the runtime version, and then we'll kind of combine the two later. Let's get this working for now, though. Where object type equals attribute type, and where the item object. Oh, this is if it has a specific one. So this is the random one. What's up, the bull? Welcome back. So get the where object type was at and selecting the UIDs and to list. that should be fairly straightforward. Let's just make sure we're passing the right thing. Debug.log. Getting list of attribute type. I think that was more 90s. Right? I mean, the first time I remember was with Scary Movie. And that was definitely 90s. But I don't know. Alright, getting list of demo prefix available for... Oh. Why did it suddenly start working? Okay. So, okay, it started working, but it doesn't always work. Gain list of that. Interesting. Oh, collapse. Okay. Gain list of demo prefix. Uh-huh. Let's try one more thing. Item object is... So, it's sort of working, but not entirely. It's demo for prefix and 0, so that means it didn't have an object. Well, that's weird. Oh, duh. Not isn't there. You failed at a game jam. I don't use breakpoints. Trigger the error. There it is. Okay, leather armor. So leather armor can't use the prefix. Now I thought that was accounted for earlier in the process here. Maybe not. Okay. Available UIDs 0. So okay, if available UIDs equals 0, then return null. Dot count. Okay. So leather armor, I've set it so that it can't use any prefixes, which is why it's returning 0. I thought I had accounted for that elsewhere, but maybe I hadn't. I know I had set up this if it's null continue, which is meant to account for that, but I thought I had check, but I guess not. All right, so let's try again. All right, good. So it seems to be working. I'm going to click that button a few more times just to make sure. No errors. All right, it should have done an error by now. Let's get rid of our debug logs and whatnot. And then we'll walk through what I've done. Haha. What I have done. What have I done? This was a step that I wanted to do off the stream on purpose because I knew I needed to concentrate during it, and I can concentrate more when I'm not streaming. Did you know that? It's totally true. Alright. Alright, so this is what I've done. Technically, this should be going through this list of basic armor and then basic weapons, doing 2 forced items, which is going to be a random one, then leather armor, but instead I'm going to click that and make it plate armor. And I'm going to see if we're absolutely getting it work. We're going to be a flaming plate armor of ultimate power. And then when we test this, we should see that. Oh, a bug. Alright, good. Solve the bugs. What is this? Oh. Apparently it's not getting the item attribute. Let's see. Flaming by itself shouldn't be there. If that was the case before, then that's a bug too. 30 jams? That's a lot. I've done 2. So it's not getting an attribute by that UID. Okay. Let's see what it's doing. Okay, that's what I expected. New attribute is, so what we should really do here is say if string dot is null or white space new attribute continue. That's what we should do. All right. All right, we got something going on here. We got plate armor, we got leather armor, but they're not giving us flaming of ultimate power. It's supposed to be a flaming plate armor of ultimate power. So what I'm going to do is new attribute for object name. I want to make sure I'm seeing which ones are getting no attributes here. New attribute for plate armor. Nothing. Alright. Why is it nothing? Let's go back. Alright. Generate items. Now generate items. Determine the item itself and create the object. And then add any attributes. And so attributes equals item settings, generate attributes for the new item, passing in item to spawn. Okay. And on this page, I need to eat something. I'm gonna eat this protein bar. Let's see. I'm gonna mute myself while I eat this protein bar. Done eating that protein bar. All right, so wanted to just step through it more. Try attribute. Chances are 0.5. That's shouldn't. Oh. Okay. it's 0.5, and if you'd think by now it would have triggered, but if it was selected, then it would be flaming. That's the idea. But it seems like it's still returning. So new attribute is blank. I'm gonna look to see if we can get, there we go. Oh. So, okay. Let me see something here. Okay, debug.log. Alright, so if this is showing the new attribute, that means this was successful. Otherwise, it means it was not successful. That's what's going on here. Okay. Okay. So, that it's coming back empty is a problem. So attribute from type. So if it's not random, okay. We're gonna change this to string random or value string. We'll just say value string. String. But wait a minute. Wait just a minute. I think we set this to values. Oh no, we don't. We set it to something different. So I'm gonna exchange this to key value equals item to spawn attribute data dot get key value for attribute type, and then value string is that dot key value to value string, and we're going to return key value dot value item attribute dot uid. That is the way to go. So we'll just do this, get rid of that. Okay. I've changed this a few times and so my brain's all jumbled, but we save this as a, I think, as a value item attribute now, which is appropriate. Okay, let's try again. All right, it did flaming this time. Now the other question is why? I got icy leather boots of cunning here, but this just has flaming, so let's see. New attribute, flaming. All right. And then editor, test generate loot, and then human name, get human name. I'm gonna say recompute equals true. Okay, can I not do that? get human nature. I can't do that. Did I just screw over all my other links to that? I did. And I just need to copy this everywhere. Play mode. All right, try again. Plate armor of ultimate power. Plate armor of ultimate power. Plate armor. Okay. Flaming plate armor of ultimate power. Guess we were just unlucky for a while. Wow. Something went wrong there. Icy flaming powerful. Ah, the tint was on your end. It's okay. As you know, I've had many tint problems in my streaming days. Well, why the heck is it working up here and not down there? Now it's not working for things that are new attribute for short sword. Attributes flaming, but somehow short sword isn't showing here. Ah, flaming isn't showing here. But what the heck? It was working, now it's not working. So clearly it doesn't always work. I don't think... Let me see. Are we able to see that in the inspector? Generate loot. No. Let's see if this works. Oh, weird. Not mine. My Mac doesn't. Oh, now I press play. Oops. Alright. Test generate loop. Ready? Here we go. Oh. Alright, flaming. Collapse. Plate armor has one attribute. Well, that's good that's called plate armor, because that tells me that it should have a human name. And human name is item object dot human name false. Or item object dot human name dot true, not dot to. Whoa. That. I always work late because I have a day job. Alright, well there we go. This is the issue. Flaming is not the name. It should display plate armor. Plate armor is literally part of the name. So human name must be messed up. Get human name. Recompute. So if recompute or it's null or white space, then we're going to recompute it. Otherwise, we're just going to return the private one. Attributes counts equals 0, then we're just saying it to object name because there's no attributes. Otherwise, okay, attributes ordered is attributes.list order by name order. And check the boolean for if we've added object name, and the human name is currently null. So for each attribute in the ordered list, if the human name of the attribute is null or white space, then we ignore it. However, if there is a human name and the order is under 0, then human name equals human name attribute human name and if attribute name order is now above 0 and we haven't added the object name, then we're going to add the object name. And then finally, if the name order is above 0, we add the human name of that attribute. And then we return, or we set this to be that. So I guess what we need is some debugs here. Debug.log attribute less than 0 is attribute.object name human name attribute.human name, and then we'll do similar here, but we'll say attribute above 0, and then here we'll say object name is object name. All right. And we'll start with this human name do that on all of them so we can track the progress. Something just fall. Where's that my chair? Who knows? Alright. I'm going to turn off collapse. So, we're going to look for flaming. Clear it. Flaming. Human name. Attribute is flaming. Okay, so it's empty. Display plate armor, which has 1-1. Well, that... Why wouldn't it keep going? Like, we got that, but isn't there more? Maybe there's not. Let's see. Day job and contract. Jeez. Yeah, I've been got the day job, got this, then got I've been doing some food bank volunteer stuff just for the fun of it. Did that yesterday. I think I'm doing it tomorrow too. Yeah. Attributes ordered count is 1. Well, that is a problem. Why would attribute ordered count be only 1? Attributes.list order by name order. Well, attributes list is count. Well, that's good that those match, I suppose. Okay, this is time when it worked. Attributes ordered count 2. Wait a minute. Flaming. Flaming plate armor of ultimate power. Two attributes. That isn't even right. Oh, I guess it could be. Hold on. I see what's going on. I see what's going on. It's because it doesn't get this if it never gets one of these. So what we need to do is say if that's false, if not, well, we'll do this. If we added it, then human name, whoops, undoes, and return. But if we didn't add it, then we need to add it. And then set this. So it's probably easier if we just do this. Let's see about that. My mic's low. How about now? Sometimes I just lean back and I go like this and I talk like this. Who knows? My mic is not my favorite. It's the blue mic. It's very popular, Blue Yeti, but it's not my favorite. All right, there we go. Now it seems to be working. Except, didn't we force? No, we didn't. We said we're flaming of ultimate power, but they're still not forced on the prefix and suffix. So there's still a chance that it would be not of that. Okay, there we go. So now let me get rid of all these debug logs because that's going to slow things down as well. And then we can talk finally about what it is that this does. Yeah, food bank's okay. Although, I helped on Friday too. I took the afternoon off of work, and see the work they give. They want to help out the world, and so they give their employees paid volunteer time off. So I took a couple hours in the afternoon off, and I bagged a bunch of apples. That's fine. A bunch of apples got bagged. 2 hours of bagging apples. It hurts the back, but I was able to sit down and still hurt the back, but sitting down was better than standing up and bending down into a big, giant bucket of apples. But then Sunday, 2 days later, I was bagging onions. I like apples better than onions, but that's fine. Some of these onions are huge. I've never seen onions this big. But the people behind me were bagging pears, and a lot of the pears were kind of mushy looking, and so I was very pleased to be next to an onion table, so I didn't have to worry about touching mushy pears, because for some reason that doesn't sound fun to me. But when they were done with their pears, they had them take a bunch of apples in bags and unbag them. And they were the exact same apples that I had bagged 2 days prior. I don't know why. But all the stuff I did on Friday was undone by other people on Sunday. So I assume they have their reasons, but what can you do? All right, so what we have here is a failure to communicate. And now you're going to have some Guns N' Roses in your head. Or if you don't know the song, you'll just have the movie in your head. And if you don't know the movie, then you'll say, what the heck is Andrew talking about? What the heck is he talking about? Makes no sense. Ball. Generate loot on setup. Setup. I'm going to equals new game list. Clear that out. I don't know if it needs to be, but yeah. Yeah. All right. So now we generate the test loot, and it generates all this stuff. And this is a little note. Oh, I thought I got rid of all these. Guess not. I guess I didn't. All right. So it's being super slow all of a sudden. I'm not sure why. I think it's probably from this doing the recomputing of the human name. So I think what I need to do is change that and say, where's the generate? test generate loot, get generated loot, generate items. It's this part right here. This is where I need to say just new game item object dot human name true, and then in here, where's my editor? We'll say false. That way it'll generate the human name after we add all the attributes, but not every single frame. Is that faster? It might be a little bit faster, but it's still got some sluggishness to it. Alright, so now it's generating a thing, so you can kind of see what kind of stuff it will generate if you have the settings that you have, which is great. Now the settings that you have, for those of you who, I don't know if you remember the before, but the idea is that a loot box is, you could make it not random. So it could be something that you force to be something very specific. But in many cases, I would think that, you know, the goal would be that a loot box is random. That the stuff in the box, you want to be able to give it a framework, you know, like, oh, this level stuff, or it should be weapons, or it should be this or that. But otherwise, you want it to be random, except for the things that you force. And maybe sometimes you want to force one thing, like a quest item, and the rest be random. So that's what this does. We start with a concept of loot items. And in a loot item, you have a internal description. This is just something that is used internally to help you remember what it is later. So here you can add items. So I've added these items. You can delete items. And what's... Oh, these are the item types. There you go. So if you select an item type, armor, you can add items to the list. And so small shield, inventory demo armor. There we go. Where are small shields? Should be here. Okay. Weird. Let's do a new one, see what happens. So we're going to create a loot items. We're going to call it test. And then here we got demo armor, demo shield. We got them there. Add. Huh. Weird. It's working here, but all right. You can add all. You can add all of these. You can add all of these. There's only one, but what can you do? You can add the armor. There's 3 there. So you can add things to the list there. Not sure why it wasn't working on this one. Huh. Let's find out. And I can update the UI at the same time. It's good to go through this with all of you because then I get to see where I need to fix something. That's good, right? So loot item editor and we're going to look for add item. All right, so pop up for this. If you change it, then it should cache the items array. If it's above 0, then we'll do that. Otherwise, we will do else label gray. There are no available, no available item objects of this type. And we'll spit that out. That should be over here if there are none. Good. But now I know there are of this type. So clearly something's up there. So let's do one more here. Debug.log should cache for type index. I always forget. I still need to train myself to always hit the $sign. This object dot type index could be. You can set up however you want, Aaron. That's the whole beauty of it. 3, 4, 2. All right. Well, it appears to be calling that. All right. But it's whoops. What happens on cache item array? This object, available items names. All right, let's see. Debug.log items count equals this object dot available items dot count length and items names. This object dot available items names dot length. Just want to check that to see if it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. All right. Well, it's clearly not, because I have now 2 available in shields, but it's not showing that. All right, so let's see. Get item object array of type. This object type's available. Let's make sure we're doing this. So debug.log type is that. This object available type. What is this? Bad compile constant value? Oh. Dot. What? What does that mean? I've never seen that before. Bad compile constant value. maybe it was a fluke. Or maybe I had a typo, I just didn't see it. Nope. Weird. Okay, how about this then? Test. That seems to work. Yeah, I'm not allowed to either. Luckily, this is not in the update. Inventory demo shields. Okay, well. And I'm going to go debug.log. One more thing. This object currently has item objects. So I should see 5, but let's just see. Okay, it currently has 5. We'll do one more test. Our test. So this time I'm going to get rid of that. And we should see 2 for shields. Okay, well, we shouldn't see 0. We shouldn't see 0. Okay. Well, that's... This object available types get item object array. But just where'd I go? So this is being spit out properly. Let's do one more test. Get rid of the GUI IDs. Oh, interesting. There, I changed the name to Demo Shields, and this isn't updating. That's the issue. Available types didn't get updated. When does available types get updated? Cache item type array. At initial setup, but not on setup. And not on cache. Actually, on setup. I should do it on setup. Okay. There we go. That did the trick. So that was the issue. There we go. Now when we delete that, it adds. There we go. Okay. Let me get rid of all my debugs now. Well, that was a good bug to solve. And I guess I can get rid of these. All right, perfect. All right, oops. So again, the idea of loot box items or loot items is just an item of stuff that you might want to group into the same thing. You can have any number of these. They can have any number of items in them. The idea is that when a loot box is populated, it's going to populate from a list of these, either ones you set or a random thing. Yep. So then on loot boxes themselves, let's set up a new one. So game modules create loot box, and we're going to call this test. All of these have their own UIDs, and so this is that note, that internal note is listed here, so you can remind yourself what they all are. And for this one, we're going to start with some basic weapons. We're going to add that, and then we'll do basic armor, and then we'll do basic gear. And so I want to guarantee that there's always going to be one weapon. So if I expand this out, there's some info here. Fancy. Should be some info here. God damn it. What's going on here? Okay. Apparently, what's my percent? Maybe I'm giving it some bad number. Nan. Not a number. This shouldn't be turned on by default. I don't know why it is. It shouldn't be. So this is saying 0 divided by 0. So we're going to say if end position equals 0, then return 100? 1? I guess it's not going to be return 1, it's going to return... How about this? If it's 0, then percent is in list equals 0. Or how about even better? If it's not 0, then percent in list equals that. All right, there we go. All right. So, back to this. Why is this set to true? Let me delete these and try again. Weapon, add. Okay. Attributes are available. Clearly. Well, geez. Add. Weird that that didn't show up until after. Interesting. Why would it only show up after I order a second one? Or create a second one? Yeah, that makes no sense. And that shouldn't be defaulted. Okay, let's do a few things then. Add. Add. No attributes are available. No attributes are available. Item settings attribute order count is -1, so where does this get reset? It gets reset here, set column names. Set column names happens here, cache column names, and do cache. So we're probably going to need to call this every time we do an add. Add. Yeah, I add a symbol info by an add tooltip. Tooltip will go press add to add items to the potential spawn list. You can then set whether the item and any attributes are random or set to a specific value. Unless force is checked, the chance is not always 100% that any given item object will spawn. Okay. You like the editor? I'm glad you like the editor. Me too. Alright, let's try this again. Add basic weapons, add good. Okay, now why is that checked? It should not be checked. Let's see where it is. Symbol check. So that's there. And then here, item settings, attribute force, I. Okay, so the force status is that. Attribute force is that. And if the force status does not equal the current one, then current one equals temporarily force status. Then we move it up or down, depending on its new value, and then we set that to the opposite of force status. Okay. Oh, weird. There's a whole lot of weird there. That is normal. That is not. Weird. Okay. Let's see. Debug.log. force status for attribute type is items settings. Oh. Item settings dot attribute force I. Prefix is true, suffix is false. Prefix is false now as well. Prefix is true, okay. Now, oh, interesting, that's right. Oh, why did I press play? So, if I move the attribute, I also need to move. Oh, I do. From index to index, both the order and the force. Debug.log. Moving from index to index. So we cache the value at the from index for attribute order and attribute force, and that's a string and a bool. And then for the order, we remove it at the from index, then we add it into the to index. We do the exact same thing for attribute force. It's possible that these start out incorrect, though. I think that's what's more likely happening. I think what's happening is that attribute force these are confusing. This is the one I want. But this set column names, I'm going to rename that to be set attribute types. Set attribute types is probably doing something wrong. So there's a whole lot going on here. The thing is that we need to save a list of the types, and that's going to be in the order that they should show up here, which is the human readable order, the logical order there. We also need to save the order of them, which is down here, and that's the order in which they will be computed. And that matters because if you have this stop after first failure thing, then it matters which one's first. And you can choose that, or you can choose to randomize order. Oh, and I didn't... I don't think I've accounted for that randomized order yet, but if you choose to randomize order, then they'll be randomized, but it will still stop after the first failure if you have that selected. And then attribute force is just a list of booleans on whether or not we're forcing. And that's important. Now, item object is in this list, and but item object is not itself an attribute. That's the item. And so I just always set that to force, and we just show it. You can't unselect it from force. That's always checked. Okay. So this happens on cache column names, which is really going to be now cache item types. This happens for each of the settings. Each one of these squares, when you click add, is one LootBox item settings. Okay, so first we're adding any missing order values. And this is actually just really left over. So if I can actually restart from scratch for all of these, but this was just a kind of a hack to get them up to speed for my update. So I think I can remove all these comfortably, but let me just comment them out for now. All right, so we're setting up a new list after, and this is going to be new list before, and then new list after the full list. So we're going with item object available item attributes equals null. Then we're going to continue. Available item attributes count equals 0. Then continue. Otherwise, new list before, we're adding all the available item attributes where the name order is less than 0. That means it should show before the item object name, so prefixes. And then for new list after, it's the same, but for those that are suffixes after 0. 0 is always the item object, and you can't set those to be 0. And then the full list is the full list. And then then we do the string. We're gonna take the new list before, distinct it, so there's only one for each type, then order by the name order, then by the human name, in case there's some that have the same name order. Then we're going to select their object type and then distinct that into a list. And then the list after, same deal. And then the final list equals string list. Then we add the item object, which is up here, right here. And then we add the list after. And then for any new attributes, okay, I think this is, so that's saying only the, well, this is going to be the attribute types, but not the order necessarily. So where do we add attribute types? Right here. All right. So for each string, the attribute in the final list, if attribute types contains, there we go. That could be an issue. Okay. So we'll do it like this. If the attribute types does not contain that attribute, then we will add it. Actually, okay, if it does contain, then we won't do anything. Otherwise, we'll add it there. We're going to say attribute order dot add final list attribute as well, and force. And then we're going to remove any that are no longer available. So if final list contains attribute type, so for each attribute type, if final list contains that, then we're going to remove that. And then we also have to remove from the order. So attribute order dot remove all, and we'll say x dot x equals attribute types I. So force and types will always be the same. Nope, that's the issue. Force and order should always be the same. That's the issue. So, okay, so it's fine to do them all here. It's fine to do them all here for adding. I'll just add them all to the end. And then here I need to remove these in the same integer, index. So I really need to go for int, refactor later if we know how to, of course. Equals 0 x, well, I guess we have to do it the other way. Equals attribute force dot count minus 1, x is greater than or equal to 0, x plus plus. And then we'll say if attribute force x equals attribute types and I'm gonna have to do this above that. Why isn't this? Oh. Order. Okay. Then we do that. Remove at x. And x. And we can do that here as well. And then remove this after. Don't want to remove that before. Okay. So now those should all remove properly. Then for each item attribute in full list, what is this part? For each item attribute in the full list, if attribute names contains key, does not contain the key. Attribute names to add. Oh, so that's adding the dictionary that has all the actual names of the attributes. Okay. And then on the up and down, that's when we can move attribute down, can move up, move attribute, move attribute 2, and order and force. Wait, that's what we were doing before. Well, let's see if I magically solved all the problems. Add. Add. Nope, I didn't magically solve all the problems. And why I press play again, I don't know. So weird. This is the order. Okay. So it did move properly, but then it set demo prefix to true. Not demo, not the right one. All right, so let's check that. The moving worked. Oh. This has to be the 2 index. I think. Because it got moved, and then we set I, but I is no longer the right one. Just delete this and add again. There we go. Okay. So, oh, why do I keep doing that? Keep pressing play. So the other, I might need to do this for the other one too. So find move item to spawn to. Oh, because here I just do the opposite. That's easier. Okay, that's why it works there and not the other one. Okay, because the other one I have the index. This one I don't have the index. So that's fine. That's why. That is why. All right. Move my debugs now. Move attribute to that as well. Okay. Now I want to go back to here beforehand and see, do I need this? I think I do, because what this does is add any missing order values. Okay, add any... No, I don't think I need that. Yeah, I don't think I need that. Okay. If we add a new item attribute to this list, it should show up here and be addressed down here. Or if we remove from the list. Something to test, of course. All right. Yes. So if I go to my armor, and in this case, I'm gonna have to clean up the demo scenes too, but where's the inventory demos up here? Demo armor. If I go here and I manage all my objects here, and I say yes, add condition to them, and rarity, and then make all these add here. Okay. So you can do all of this outside of the modules as well. If you want to do something slightly different, you're able to, but you can also not do it in the modules. But all right, now if we go to the test here, it should null reference. What does that mean? I think that was a random thing that happens from time to time. Okay. Does it not? Ah, It should have updated this to be all these. Condition, prefix, item, object, suffix. So you can turn this off. You can have it random, or you can select something specific. And why is it only giving me 3 when clearly there's 5 more to do? I don't know. I feel like I had that bug before. There's 9. I know why. 2 of them don't have human names. I bet. Let's look at our conditions. Beyond repair. Yep. So we'll add that. I held shift down so that happened to all these, and shift there so it happened to all these as well. There we go. Alright, loot boxes. Go back to our test. There we go. Now we've got some. So now you can force it to be in great condition. So everything's great condition. Now, what you can't do is force it to be either great or broken, or either great or pristine, or just damaged and broken. So that's something that you might want to do outside of this if you want to customize it even more to be even more precise. Gosh, now that I think about it though, I suppose when you click random it could just select all of these, and this could be a selection where it selects from this list, and then you could choose to have it be either damaged or broken or great, but not beyond repair and not pristine. I don't know why this is the case. That's so weird. I also don't know why it's not choosing the condition. Maybe because we're not forcing it. Huh. That's weird. Well, clearly I have more work to do here because that's not giving me all of these. And I suddenly had the idea that instead of a drop down like this, I should make it a thing like the layer mask where you can select multiple from a list. I'm not sure how to do that yet. That would be even more convenient. Because I can imagine that if you have a condition, maybe you do want it to be in either broken or great condition, or maybe great and pristine condition. Anyways. Okay. Let me add basic armor again, and let's see what happens when I remove condition from that. New attributes. Demo. Objects. Demo armor. Remove condition from all. Remove rarity from all. Go back to my inspector. And it didn't update. Why didn't it update? Where do we call this? And let's call it more often. Do cache. When do we call do cache? Call on setup. Okay. So we should just see 2. Huh. In list. Oh, I guess I have objects as well. So remove any attributes that are no longer available. Oh, whoops. This is supposed to be minus minus. There we go. Now let's see if it adds properly as well. All right, didn't add properly. Oh, it did. Just over here. Why is it over there? Condition. Condition should be -20. So it should most definitely be. Oh, it adds it over there because of... doesn't reorder it. So it adds it at the end here, and then we don't reorder it. I guess we have to reorder it. Where do we do the reorder? Order by name order. It's not the end of the world if it's out of order up there. Well, the idea is supposed to be that this curve gives the chances of gain additional, and you can see the chances going up and down as I move this. And then if you stop after the first one, then the chances go down even more. Now, I don't know why this one goes down. If that's 100%, then that should be 85% too. Unless it's multiplying it by itself. What's 85% of 85%? Probably 73%. That's my guess. Let's see. Calculator. Clear. 0.85 times 0.85 equals 72.25. So it's also rounding it funny because I think that's that one where it rounds up all the time or something. But it's clearly multiplying it by itself. So let's fix that. Stop after first failure is the spawn chances one. Oh, that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for random of show item selections. Show item chances. I fixed this in the other one. I need to fix it in this one too. This isn't right. So we're passing in I and spawn chance I, LootBox settings and index. Spawn chance. Okay, that should do it. So 52%, when I click this, 52% should go down to 85% of 52%. There we go. And then 8% is going to be 45% of 18%. That's about right. There we go. So that's the idea here, is that if you want to lower the chance, you can say stop after first failure, and then that'll decrease the chance even more. Same with the attributes. again, I don't know what's going on there. But this starts at 1, 0. Let's say the chance, though, is going to be flat-ish, that there's a 50% chance of each. 50-50. It doesn't really matter what this goes up or down because it's 50-50. We'll keep it in the middle so you can kind of see that it's flat. And then 50-50, but if we stop after first trail failure, then it's 50-25%. So you can get the idea there that things might be flaming leather of armor strength, but those two apparently failed. There we go. So you can get an idea of what the chances are of getting random items. In this case, the third item didn't happen. In none of the cases has the fourth item happened yet. So there you go. So I need to do more work to figure out why when I had more attributes they weren't showing up properly. And I need to figure out why the hell this starts selected. But I'm going to do that after I go pee and grab another snack. So that's pretty much it for tonight. Hey, by the way, did you know I ordered myself a Windows PC for the first time in 22 years. I ordered myself a Windows PC in order to play games. Now, that might seem kind of like, wait, you bought a whole computer just to play games? Like, you're not going to do anything else on it? Well, technically, I can also play my own games on it, and playing games is kind of important as I make games, and I never play as many games as I'd like to play in order to see how other people make games and what games are like. So it's kind of important. Also, the computer has plenty of RPG, and it's going to be visible when I do streams with the camera on. So that, you know, just ups my street cred, I suppose. Yeah, it's research, and it is tax deductible. So that should come in on Wednesday. I ordered a mouse and keyboard. I'm so used to getting Macs. I was really confused about all these different choices with PCs. And luckily, Jason, and Uri helped me with some tips on how to buy stuff. And I have to say, it's so much easier buying a Mac. I mean, I guess there's good debugging support. What's the more GP, more FPS? Yeah, basically. I'm not sure what you mean by debugging support, I guess, but I've never had trouble developing on a Mac. There's some assets like what is it? Not Beautify. Is it Beautify? No, not Beautify. There's some shadow or light baking bakery only works on PCs, and that's, I've always wanted to use that. And then there's other assets that only work on PCs, but they're like visual assets, and that means that they only work on a PC build. So I don't want to use those because I definitely want my project to also work on a Mac, even if I were to eventually develop on the PC. You know what? Speaking of making a backup, I signed up for Collaborate, and for some reason it never shows up here. And these don't work. I don't know why. Anyways, that's that. But I do have my backups going. It's backing up right now, in fact. So there you go. But I do want to do double backup with Collaborate, especially for a small project like this that doesn't have much disk space being used. But I'm paying for more disk space now, so I can do that, but I just not doing it. I don't know. All right. Thank you all for hanging out. Hopefully I'll get this fixed soon. I've never liked GitHub. I don't get it. I don't get confuses the heck out of me. We use Collaborate to work with the artists I work with, and it's worked really well. For that, they can upload something, and I get it, and it's in the right format and everything, and changes and all that. But I think Collaborate's going away, so Plastic is the next one. Excuse me. I'm yawning. So, I don't know. We'll see. By the way, everybody, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you haven't seen it yet, there's only a couple days left of the Halloween sale. Go to infinitypbr.com. Click on the See All Assets. That puts my affiliate code up there. I appreciate it. And you can see there's a whole bunch of stuff in my library on sale. These are all part of the Dawn of the Deals sale. There's a whole bunch of other things higher on the rankings than my own. What a shame. But what can you do? Whole lot of stuff on sale. Just check it out. Alright. Clearly I'm tired. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you all later.